This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
Say hello to the all-new Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do so much more for you. Need tickets to see your favorite artist? Craving your comfort restaurant? Just sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. It learns your style, anticipates what's next, and makes it happen across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Breaking news.
And tonight on the Rita Cosby Show, 6 Democrats who appeared in that video that urged military members to defy, quote, illegal orders, which there are none, but, quote, I put it in air quotes, illegal orders. Well, the FBI has now opened officially an inquiry into those 6 Democratic members of Congress, including 2 U.S. senators, 4 House members, and they include Mark Kelly, of course, Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona. Alyssa Slotkin also is the other senator. She is from Michigan. And yet Mark Kelly is standing by his words, saying, I was right to do that video, saying that military members just have an option out there. And then when he was pressed, even by Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, he couldn't come up with an illegal action. So why are they putting it out there? Why are they stirring the pot? And that's a very dangerous game to play. Here is Mark Kelly on Rachel Maddow on MSNBC.
When you and your colleagues made that video, were there specific, potentially illegal orders that you were thinking about that were the sort of precipitating cause for you guys to get together and do that?
Here's the thing, Rachel. You don't want to wait for your kid to get hit by a car before you tell them to look both ways.
You don't want to wait for your kid. So in other words, it's a preemptive action. And he thinks that's appropriate. That is completely out of line. And here is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said this is a dangerous game these Democrats are playing.
Well, we believe it's deeply unfortunate that these Democrat senators made this egregious and completely irresponsible statement. And let's be very clear, Martha, these Democrat senators knew exactly what they were doing. It's not a coincidence that all of them have military or national security experience in their background. They were leaning into that experience to try and give a wink and a nod to the 1.3 million active duty service members who serve in our United States Armed Forces and essentially encourage them to defy the orders of their commander-in-chief, which is illegal, by the way. Let me be very clear. Not a single order this president or administration has given to our military has ever been illegal, nor will it ever be. This administration respects and abides by the law, and these officials know it. They are trying to sow chaos and distrust, which is a very dangerous thing to do within the military's ranks. The sanctity of our military respects and relies on law and order in the chain of command. And that's what this administration is trying to say. And that's why the Department of War opened up this investigation against Senator Mark Kelly today.
Yeah. You have to wonder at this point if they retrospectively think this was a good idea or a bad idea, because it doesn't seem to be working the way that they wanted it to. And now they're kind of stepping all over themselves, trying to answer the question of what they were talking about in the first place. But, you know, you make a good point that it sows, they were hoping to sort of sow this distrust. Go ahead,
they can't answer the question, Martha, because there is no answer. They can't identify illegal orders because there are no illegal orders. But they were suggesting, again, to the 1.3 million active duty service members in the military today that if you think an order is illegal, you don't have to follow it. Actually, that's against the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It explicitly states, and I want to read this language precisely, that service members have a legal obligation under the U.S. UCMJ to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. You can't have a soldier out on the battlefield or conducting a classified order questioning whether that order is lawful or whether they should follow through. There must be a chain of command in our military, and Republicans and Democrats for decades, since the beginning of our country, have always respected that until now when the Democrat Party has been completely overtaken by Trump derangement syndrome, and now we have these deranged statements from sitting members of Congress.
And earlier tonight, John Catsimatidis and I talked about on Cats and Cosby. We talked with Congressman Pat Fallon. Now, he is an Air Force veteran, and he said he can't imagine why. And Mark Kelly and Alyssa Slotkin said, no, we don't really see anything illegal now, but maybe you could even kind of look a little bit at this targeting of narco boats off the coast of Venezuela. Like going after drug lords is not a nice thing? Like that's crossing the line? That is preposterous. I'd like to see somebody out there who says, no, we shouldn't target drug lords who are bringing in drugs and polluting America and killing American kids. I mean, this is just incredible, but that's the island that it seems like the Democrats want to be on. And here is Congressman Pat Fallon, because this is the only way he can make logic of all of this.
Those boats are headed for the United States, and with tons of drugs on them, that's going to kill thousands and thousands, maybe 10,000 American people. Why are the Democrats objecting to them blowing them out of the water? I just don't understand it.
John, you know why? Because they hate Donald Trump more than they love their country. And that is a horrible thing. There's a horrible place to be, and they need to turn that corner and understand that, you know what, when the president's acting in our nation's best interest, why don't you think about coming on, getting on board and supporting them and just not discussing that topic and find something else to disagree with them about?
Yeah, they hate Trump more than they love America. I think that's the line of the day, because it doesn't make sense any other way. And here is Air Force veteran Buzz Patterson, who says these folks, all 6 of them, need to have the book thrown at them. And in particular, if you look at also Mark Kelly, he seems to be in the biggest trouble, because in his particular case, he retired as an officer. So he still could. He's getting significant benefits, apparently, as a Navy retiree. So he's very much still subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And many people are saying that video may constitute a violation of his oath, that maybe he could be recalled back after decades of service in the U.S. military, and maybe he could be court-martialed. Here is Air Force veteran Buzz Patterson for his take on the Sedicious Six.
Hey everybody, this is Buzz Patterson. I'm a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, retired Air Force pilot, combat veteran, and at one time I was the military aide to President Bill Clinton and carried the nuclear football and actually lived in the White House. So I've been around. I was actually, during my military service, deployed to 70 countries and fought in 3 wars. So I feel like I've got a dog in this hunt. I am very appalled at what the Sedicious Six has done with their video. I think it's a violation of their oaths of office, and especially in the case of Senator Mark Kelly, I believe it's a violation of the UCMJ, and I hope that President Trump and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth hold them accountable. They are violating, and they are politically using their positions to undercut the command of President Donald J. Trump, and they're circumventing the chain of command. Congress and members of Senate are not in the chain of command. President Trump is, however, as our commander-in-chief. So I fully support going forward with whatever prosecutions are warranted and legitimate, and I think they are on these individuals. They use their positions, military and in the intelligence community, to expose, I think, and put at risk those of us who serve in uniform. I think that what's going to happen is, because they violated the military chain of command, people are going to die. They undercut the underpinnings of the military, which is good order and faith and trust in their leadership. And in my estimation, what they did was treasonous and seditious, and I hope they are prosecuted to the full extent. Again, my name is Buzz Patterson. I served in combat. I've served for 20 years, and I am outraged by what has happened by the Democrats, and I fear for what's going to happen to our young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines if they choose to violate what is a legal order, which will ruin their lives and ruin their careers. Thank God, guys. God bless. See ya.
Bravo for this guy. By the way, I would say he actually is qualified very much. I was just listening to him talking about his resume, that indeed 70 countries, 3 wars, carried the nuclear football for Bill Clinton. And he's worried about what's going to happen to some of these young folks if they were to follow it, because these people can't have their backs. Say somebody decides unilaterally. What if some, corporal says, oh, I want to just defy, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to defy that. I'm going to defy this. Okay. Alyssa Slotkin says she has my back. She doesn't have your back. She can't do anything with the military code. And can you imagine what a breakdown that is of authority? I find this whole thing so repulsive. You know how much I love the military. And what makes the military work, anybody who's been a part of it, or if you've seen A Few Good Men, or if you've seen any movie with the military, it's law and order that really makes things work. That really makes things work. And you got to follow your chain of command, or it is a disaster, or we're in mayhem. And these people are inspiring mayhem, and it is a disgrace. And there should be some repercussions. And they're out there saying, oh, it was just a video. They know darn well what they're doing, especially their military members. Some of them are former CIA officers. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why this is so darn dangerous. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Al in Yonkers on line 3. Go ahead, Al. Your thoughts.
Yeah. Hi, Rita. I think the senator from Arizona, I think he made a terrible mistake. I mean, to be elected a senator, to me, there's no bigger privilege in life to be a United States senator. And for him to come out like that was really, unbecoming. And, hopefully he gets in trouble for what he did. What he did was un-American, and it was wrong.
I agree with you. When you just said un-American, I think that's a great line, because it's against America's interests. It's against America's military. You think about if young military members decide, oh, they don't have to abide by this. They're just going to unilaterally defy this order. They're going to unilaterally defy that order. That's an incredibly dangerous and reckless place to be. And that's exactly what he is inspiring of these people. And he knows better, like you just said. He rose through the ranks. I mean, this guy was in the military for decades, honorably discharged from being in the military for a long time. So he can't necessarily say, oh, I didn't know. They all know this. I know it, and I'm not a member of the military. Everybody knows that this is the chain of command, that there are certain procedures that you follow, and it is not appropriate by any means to be doing your own little dance and your own little line. He knows what it is. If somebody underneath him had done this while he was in the military, he would court-martial them. So guess what? The same thing needs to happen to him to set an example. They can't just put out a little video and say, oh, we didn't mean it. And now he's baiting people. I don't know if you saw Al in the last few hours. He's out there is I'm not going to get, I've spent all these decades in the military, and he had his lineup of medals. And then Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, came out in kind of a touche moment and said, you need to line up your medals. They're in the wrong order. We'll have a medal lesson for you first, and then we'll go through this. I mean, he's putting him right in his place. You better respect authority. And the fact that this guy seems to have a lot of cojones, I can just put out a video and I can't even be touched. I'm untouchable. that there's a real problem there. He would never accept that from anybody else while he was in the military, and he knows better. So where do you think this is going, Al?
Well, I think he's going to pay a political price. I think he's on his second term as a senator. He's got about 4 more years left. But, in Arizona, a lot of those, it used to be a solidly Republican state. So I think a lot of those Republicans in that state, the law and order Republicans in Arizona are going to remember that, even though 4 years is a long time in politics. But I do think he's going to probably have to see the Secretary of War. And he's going to have to explain himself. What he did was wrong, and he should know better, and he crossed the line.
Yeah, 100%. I think there needs to be some punishment because it cannot go unscathed. It absolutely cannot. Al, thank you. Really great to talk with you. If I don't talk to you before, and have a great Thanksgiving. We'll continue with your calls after the break, everybody. 1-800-848-9222. And you're listening to The Rita Cosby Show on this busy Thanksgiving week.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing in select theaters and on Netflix December 5th.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... there, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kann du Norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is the Rita Cosby Show.
Well, you can come see a lot about ICE agents on this new ICE tracker. This is shocking. The Democrats are actually pushing this new program that essentially tracks where ICE is. It also tracks what they called ICE misconduct. Not locating criminal, illegal migrants who may be committing crimes. No, not that. This is all about going after those who are trying to take the bad guys off the streets. And we're going to talk about that because it is really shocking and it's making ICE's job that much more difficult. Also, the Jewish FDNY Commissioner Robert Tucker breaking his silence, saying it was indeed because of Zohran Mamdani and because Tucker says his religion and his belief about this guy. He said that's why I could not work under Zohran Mamdani, breaking his silence. We'll talk a little bit more about that, too. I think we're going to see a big exodus, not just at the FDNY, the NYPD, and a lot of places. Let's go real quick to Reggie in Texas, line 3. Go ahead, Reg.
Hey, Miss Rita. I just find the timing of this commercial, whatever you want to call it, the propaganda film about our military about not obeying unlawful orders and staying true to the Constitution. Funny, looks like it's going to be imminent action in Venezuela. they released this message. My second point is this. Why aren't they worried about the sanctuary mayors and governors breaking their oath to the Constitution? Seems to me they're the ones who should be getting this warning.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because they are clearly breaking the law and they are clearly aiding and abetting, I think.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
At IKEA, your dreams can come true. Well, maybe not the ones where you're being chased by a monster. We're talking about kitchen dreams. And there are IKEA products and solutions for all of them. Whether it's a whole new kitchen, a statement glassware set, or just new cutlery. If you got big dreams or small dreams in any size of budget, IKEA can help you bring them to life. Visit IKEA.us/dreamkitchen to learn more. Dream the possibilities.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
Rita Cosby is on.
And it is the holiday season. Everybody help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Go to redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey and join the Red Apple Audio Network's AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino supermarkets, and also Nationwide Imaging Services as we all deliver together holiday meals to get this more than 5,000 families across New York City. So go to redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. That's redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving. And remember those in need. And a way you can do it is go to redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey.
Breaking news.
And as I mentioned, the Jewish FDNY commissioner who quit over Zohran Mamdani's election, well, he finally speaks out. This is the former FDNY commissioner, Robert Tucker. He quit suddenly right after Zohran Mamdani won the mayoral election. And now he's speaking out. He did an interview with CBS Mornings, and he said, personally, he was asked, what was the moment when you realize this mayor-elect, if elected, is incompatible with yourself, with your personal beliefs? And he said, I think the whole campaign really reflected that for me. He cited his religion as a factor in his decision. Again, he's Jewish, the FDNY, the Fire Department of New York commissioner. And he said Mamdani has some work to do if he hopes to win over the Big Apple's rank and file first responders as well. So bravo for him for speaking out and sounding the alarm. And I think he is the beginning of what's going to be a big, big exodus, whether it's at the FDNY or elsewhere. And you can just see already Zohran Mamdani's lining up a lot of his allies who have similar beliefs as he does. And he's not backing away from a lot of these anti-Semitic comments. And he's putting in the Democratic Socialists of America. He's putting a couple of them in his transition team. I bet he'll put a whole bunch of them in his leadership team. And remember, he speaks at their conventions. They're really one and the same. And that should be troubling for everybody. Because if you look at their policies, they are all about, divest from Israel. Don't have any connections to Israel. Don't have any connections here. Very, very troubling and very concerning on so many different levels. And meantime, we're also talking about the military, and now many of these Democrats literally getting called in. They are scheduled apparently today, Capitol Hill. Police were coordinating with the FBI when there could be interviews with these 6 Democrats who came out there and said that the military military members can just openly on their own defy orders. Let's go back to that original video that is causing so many problems for these Democrats, and I think they should all be in big time trouble. They know better.
We must be loyal to the oath that we swore to stand firmly with America.
I'm Congressman Jim Baird.
I am Joe Wilson.
Representative Nick LaLota.
Congressman Zach Nunn.
Representative John McGuire. Representative Keith Self.
Congressman Rich McCormick. Representative Barry Moore.
Representative Rick Crawford.
August Pfluger.
Congressman Andrew Clyde.
Congressman Tom Baer.
Former Navy. Former Vietnam Army combat veteran.
Retired Colonel of the South Carolina Army National Guard.
Marine Corps pilot.
Former member of the Alabama National Guard.
Former Army Special Forces Green Beret.
Former U.S. Army soldier. An Air Force veteran.
28-year Navy officer.
United States Army. After my active duty service, I joined the intelligence community.
As a former Navy SEAL veteran, I want to speak directly to the members of the military and our intelligence community. I want to speak directly to the members of the military and the intelligence community.
I want to speak directly to the members of the military and the intelligence community. Like you, I raised my right hand because I love this country. I believe in something bigger than myself.
That freedom is not free. My oath was clear. Uphold the Constitution.
That commitment is powerful.
We all understand the importance of the chain of command.
Troops, listen up. Any service member who refuses a lawful order is subject to court-martial for violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
We study what's lawful and what's not lawful, and the Democrats stunt insinuating that they're illegal or unconstitutional orders. It's downright dangerous.
It is corrosive. It is meant to weaken our country and weaken the military.
Do not give in. Stand firm in your duty.
Protect the American populace from an enemy that would do us harm. That's the right thing to do, and that is a lawful order.
Your commitment to this nation is vital.
Stay focused on the mission, defend the Constitution, and remember the oath we took to defend America.
Remember the promise we made, so help us God.
So help me God.
So help me God. So help me God.
Troops, thank you for serving. Continue to prepare for the fight.
Bravo. And those are the Republicans responding to the Democratic original call. Thank goodness they came out and they said, troops, don't listen to these rogue Democrats with these rogue crazy things. And I want to play back again. Here is the Democrat version. This is the original one. And what a far cry it is from what you just heard from the Republicans.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us. You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army, or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Don't give up the ship. In other words, dereliction of duty. It is really invoking sedition. I mean, when you think about it, it is complete chaos. And this just makes my blood boil. And they are now doubling and tripling down. And I'm so glad that the FBI is working together with Capitol Hill Police to call these people in, haul them in. And I say, throw the book at them. And you heard Republicans and other members of Congress are outraged by it too. And rightly so. I think every American should be. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Eduardo in Tampa. Go ahead, Eduardo.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Rita.
You too.
I wanted to comment that Admiral Albin Halsey, remember, he left. He was the commander of Caribbean forces, and he left because he disagreed with the both shoot-downs. And that could have been one reason that emboldened these Congress people to do that, something like that.
Right. And by the way, and by the way, you're right. He did speak out. He had some issues with some of it. And I don't think he should have, because I think obviously going after the narco terrorists, I would think that's a good thing. But at least he didn't fight against it. He said, this is not where I want to go. I think there were other things to it also as well. But to me, that's a very different thing than saying ignore that order. What do you think?
Yeah. And then the other guy, too, was the president of Colombia, Petro, in Central Park. When they had that UN meeting, the different countries, he was in Central Park with a bullhorn yelling that military people or U.S. people should disobey the president of the United States.
Yeah, it's completely. I agree. It's completely improper, isn't it? I mean, what was your reaction to that?
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, to do it here in the U.S. I mean, if he did it in Colombia, that's different. But he did it in in the U.S.
Right.
Yeah,
no wonder we're having trouble with Colombia with people like that. But can you imagine? By the way, can you imagine if he did that in Colombia? It'd last like 5 minutes. Yeah. No wonder he's doing it here, because he can't last more than 5 minutes there in Colombia if he tried to shout that.
Presidential election next year, and there's a guy named Miguel Uribe London. His son was assassinated, and I wouldn't be surprised if Petro had something to do with that, but we can't prove that. That's just speculation. But I hope the father wins next year against Petro. So keep your eye on it. Hopefully he gets extra security, too.
Yeah, let's hope so. You're right. Yeah. The Uribe family is a big family there in Colombia. So you're right. Yeah. Very important. Eduardo, thank you. You're terrific. Thank you. It's really great to hear from you. Let's go to Joaquin, too, in Pennsylvania, line 2. Go ahead, Joaquin.
Good evening, Rita. Just in case, I'm sure I'll get back on with you, but happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you. You too, my friend. We always love hearing from you, Joaquin.
The first thing I think I want to say is this, that, when it comes to Mamdani, he wants the exodus because he wants to fill those ranks with Muslims and progressives who will arrest Zionists, and he's on this track to Islamicize the country, okay?
Which is a very scary, and what's interesting? I think a lot of people, Joaquin, thought like, okay, maybe he's just saying this, or maybe he didn't really mean it, or did he really say that? I still have people say, no, did he really ever say defund the police? And I'm like, yeah, take a look. Here it is. But he's, I'll give him credit. He seems to be living up to his campaign promises.
Without a doubt. But I want to get on to a couple other things. The Sedicious Six, okay, and when you were playing them before, I made a notation. The key words of their statement was, against American citizens. Okay, there's the key to what they're trying to say. In other words, they want these military people to rebel against supporting ICE and going after illegal immigrants in this country or trying to stop crime. So they're working, an anti-American agenda, and so that's their whole deal. They're leftists, and basically they're seditious. And that's the only thing I can say is when those key words stick out in my mind, and you know what they're referring to. They're referring to the ICE raids and to the National Guard supporting ICE, and even being put in cities, because of crime. Now, I did want to make a comment that, you had said before, they want every man for themselves, and they don't want to put people in jail. It's not completely true. They do want to put people in jail. How about that guy who used, unfortunately, an illegal handgun to defend himself?
Right. I'm laughing because it's so ludicrous. You're right. That the guy who used the handgun to defend himself, he got in jail. Right. I mean, it's like Alice in Wonderland, but you're right. They threw the book at him.
Yeah, he got 4 years. Okay, now just imagine any criminal, okay, that uses a gun to commit a crime, they turn them out and they let them go right away, But if you're Daniel Penny, or anyone who stands up against crime and wants to defend themselves, they're making room in the jails basically for us, And when it comes down to support for Donald Trump and for, MAGA, it really, to quote the AC/DC song, it's hard as a rock, And there was one other point that I had here that I want to get to.
Let me ask you really quick. What do you see coming up, Joaquin, with the more I hear of this guy and the people around him, like this Linda Sarsour says, hey, look, we won essentially by being anti-Semitic. So it doesn't hurt you. Keep on going. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's like a bullhorn cry to other Democratic socialists and others that you can be as vile and anti-Semitic as you wish, and it's no problem. And that's a scary thing. So I guess my question is, this guy hasn't even taken office yet. What do you think's ahead for New York City and the rest of the country? Because there's also that Katie Wilson woman who was there in Seattle. She's sort of a mini Mondani light. What do you think?
You know, Rita, he just brought up a great point, and that's kind of where I want to go. All right, you're talking about Linda Saussure, okay? These are all, they're not just democratic socialists. We have to get this straight, that they're Islamists, okay? And unfortunately, there's a war, between the Western civilization and Islam wants to make us submit to Islamic rule. And if you consider the fact that there's 56, I think it is, Muslim countries in this world, but yet for some reason they seem to want to come, into other countries and turn these countries around. And you take a look at Europe. Europe is basically gone, okay? Let's say, Europe, like England and France, Poland has a chance. Poland actually does have a chance because countries like Poland, at least, they have banned, Muslims from coming into their countries because they're not allowing their countries and their cultures to be overturned. But basically, you can look at the rest of Europe and say it's pretty much gone now. They've taken it over. And that really plays right into Canada. And I love John Catsimatidis. He was talking about the ostriches in Canada.
Yep.
This is all part of that globalist agenda that wants to take out Western civilization, so that they can create their one, the elite rule over the rest of us. And so those ostriches, they were murdered to stop any kind of natural therapies, being found from those ostriches so that the big pharmaceutical industry, that they can keep propagating and making their profits.
Well, and by the way, that whole ostrich thing was just absolutely despicable, Joaquin, because to your point, the fact that they killed hundreds of ostriches, they didn't have to. They had alternatives, and yet they did, and we still don't know the real story. They murdered them, in the dark of night. They cornered them in, and they had an alternative. They could have brought them to the United States. They've had some of these life-saving qualities, and they don't want it. They don't even want to find out. They don't want anybody else to find out. So hopefully one day we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sure we will. And I'm sure John Katz will find out because he has been such a hero on this mission. Joaquin, thank you very, very much. And everybody, we're going to continue right after the break. 1-800-848-9222. And you're listening to The Rita Cosby Show. But first, support our heroes.
The Rita Cosby Show presents Support Our Heroes.
And this is the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Support Our Heroes segment with a powerful story from Lake County, Illinois, where U.S. Armed Forces veterans who served during Vietnam between 1955 and also 1975, well, they received pins from U.S. Rep. Brad Schneider during an event honoring their service. Like many of those who fought in Vietnam, Ross Frank of Tower Lake did not receive a warm welcome when he came home, and it took several years before the now retired CTA motorman was no longer what he says ridiculed by people that he encountered. The veteran said, "It was not very welcoming when I got home. They called us baby killers. Finally, there was a parade for us in downtown Chicago. I marched in it, and I finally felt welcomed. And to be honored now by members of Congress and others means the world to me." How beautiful that these veterans, especially of Vietnam, you know how much we love you guys and your families. We love you, we appreciate you, and welcome home from the Rita Cosby Show. And everybody, America's heroes, need your help this holiday season more than ever. Donate just $11 a month to make an incredible difference to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Be sure to check him out at t2t.org, T2T.org.
The Rita Cosby Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
This episode is brought to you by Blink. Blink Friday starts now with up to 65% off Blink Smart Security. Check on your pets all season long with new Blink Mini 2K Plus cameras. See your gifts arrive in head-to-toe view with Blink Video Doorbell. Ready to use right out of the box. Just unwrap Blink and go. From pet parents to jet setters to busy families, Blink Friday deals have your holidays covered. Shop now at amazon.com/blink.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
REI Co-op presents a perfect outdoor moment with the perfect gift. Picture this. You're ripping with your favorite person. Bluebird skies, blower powder, and frankly, you're skiing like legends.
So sick. Another lap?
Thanks to REI's curation, from lid to sticks, you nailed the gift.
No way. How'd you know?
Does it get more perfect than that? Give without guessing. Shop in store or visit REI.com.
It's the Rita Cosby Show.
And let's go to your calls, everybody. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Leon in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Leon.
Hey, Rita. Thank you. Thanks for taking my call. And I'm a friend of Joaquin there. Okay, I'm going to talk.
Guess what? We are all friends of Joaquin. Then I know you have good taste, Leon. So go ahead. I love him.
I'm the guy that worked with him. But anyhow, the Sedicious Six, okay? Did you ever watch that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right.
Jeff Foxworthy. Yep. I think the fifth graders are smarter than them Sedicious Six. What do you think, Rita?
Yeah, I actually think that's a good analogy. And by the way, I love Jeff Foxworthy. He is so funny. He's so clever. And it's a good analogy because how could they put this out? They're members of the military and intelligence committee. They know better. And I brought up the analogy that Mark Kelly, if he was still active duty in the military and he had an underling who do it, he would court-martial that person. You know he'd haul them in, right?
Right. And another thing I want to say quick, and I'll let you go, is you and John Catsimatidis, the Katz and Crosby. I love John Catsimatidis and you because every time he says something smells, and you always say, John, I'm from Denmark, and he says, in Butler, PA, or in Ottawa.
You're right.
Canada.
He said there's something rotten in Denmark, but he won't do it anymore because he knows I'm half Danish. So I love that about him.
Thanks for listening to The Rita Cosby Show. You can hear The Rita Cosby Show weeknights at 10 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.